And welcome to the WBT. This is Mike Lodge. I hope everybody is having a great day. Starting my new day. I always do 2 podcasts in the morning. I try to get them out and published. The conversation I wanted to have with you this morning is about solving disputes and conflicts and problems, not by yourself, but literally hiring a mediator to come in and talk you through the process. Conflicts and disputes get very emotional. And it's good to have this person that's out of the picture, third person, not involved in the situation, who can listen to both sides and kind of guide you to a point where you need to be. Now, as a mediator myself, I listen to a lot of different cases. Most of them are business cases. And then there are times where the family gets involved. There's an issue within the family member. And it could be a whole list of things. It could be individuals who are concerned about the care of their father or mother, but they're not really involved in the decision-making process and they want to be involved. It could be a dispute between a mother and a daughter or a husband and a wife. It could be between the various members of a family who also own a business together. I've done a lot of those. And at the very end, they've always come to me and they said, my gosh, you know what? I'm so thankful we did this because we were going nowhere. We could not get to the point of discussing the issue that we needed to resolve because there were too many stories and too many emotional outbursts and everything else that goes along with family issues. I encourage you, listen, if you are having a family issue, and it could be between a husband and wife. I've had those too, where a husband owned the business and the wife was participating in the business, but she wasn't getting paid anything. We've had those conversations. But sometimes an individual is so focused on the career that they have forgotten about what it takes to resolve issues in the family. I think I've heard so many different cases of family issues that I really feel that in order for you to resolve them, you cannot just sit there and belittle each other and pound each other. It does not work. Bring in a mediator who can listen to both sides, respond with controls for the mediation process, and focus on those items. You know, it's so funny. In family mediations, I have always given them a sheet of paper. And there's like 10 lines on that. I said, I want you to list the top 4 items that you feel is causing this issue. You'd be surprised that 3 out of the 4 is usually the same. So we've already agreed that there's a problem there, and now how do we resolve it? And then there's that big issue that both of them see that they've never talked about and they need to talk about. You would be surprised how similar the same vision or version of the story really is all about. But they can't get to that point where they need to really sit down and talk about it because there's so much emotions build up. I see it happen every single day. Now, in business, it's easier. In business, we have kind of a contractual issue, or we have a real estate issue, or we have a partnership issue. There's a whole bunch of issues there, but we pretty much know that we need to sit down and we need to talk this out and we need to resolve this issue. Families don't do it that way. Families get this emotional tide of anger and disrespect And all these words fly. But they never ever get to that point where they're talking about the issue. Because it's so easy for other people to go off into other tangents. And then they never resolve the issue. A third-party mediator can come in and get them on track. Keep them on track. That's the most important thing, is keeping them on track. I love the process of mediation. And I love the fact that people begin to think before they talk. Because there's structure. The mediator provides that structure of ability that they can say anything to that mediator in the strictest of confidence and confidentiality ever. And that is the key process, that I can take somebody who's so angry and take them into another room and talk to them. And come up with some options on what they feel needs to happen. Get their creative juices running on how to create an ability to present an option that just might work. So all of you who are out there and you are having an issue, don't think that you're alone. There are people out there who are called mediators and that can help you through the conflict process before it escalates and you can never come back to where you used to be. Resolve issues quickly. In business, I always tell them, if you have a conflict, if you have something going on inside your office, mediate it very quickly, because that dispute, that conflict can cost you a whole bunch of money. Because it not just affects two people, but affects the whole group of people that are surrounding them in that business. And people become very disorganized. They become very unresponsive because they don't know in which direction these two individuals are going to jump at them at any given moment. So production goes down and becomes very costly to businesses. Well, in family issues, it's the same situation, except it is a family destruction. You are going to lose a whole bunch of precious time with that family member or with that friend because you've spent so much time fighting and disrupting. Letting your emotional flow come out so many times that it has disrupted the relationship. Mediators are very good at calming the situation, keeping people on track, keeping them focused. And when you have a conflict, when you have a dispute, you have to remain focused. Otherwise, you will never get to a resolution of where you need to be. Now, there are some people that are going to refuse to mediate because their egos are so high and their emotions are so high that they refuse to mediate. Mediation is a voluntary process. And that in that voluntary process, you've got to have two people to mediate. If you don't have two people, there's not much to go on. Now, there are times where it is so disruptive that you cannot have the two individuals in the same room. So you've got to do mediation with one individual and a mediation with the other person and trying to bring them together. And finally, you get them into the same room to resolve the issue. Will it be perfect afterwards? No. But there are set rules for them to operate under in a new relationship. I love mediation. I tell you, I love the stories that I hear. I love the individuals who put it on the line of trying to be as honest as they possibly can. Now, there are some people who are not so honest, and they really know how to tell a good story. They know how to build a little tiny story into a huge, momentous, blockbuster video. But that seldom happens. Most of the time, you've got individuals who really, truly want to resolve the issue. They want to get this anger done away with. So for those of you who are having a problem in your business, or you're having a problem in your family, consider mediation. Because mediation has an 85% success rate. Why not use a successful method to resolve conflicts and disputes? Listen, if you have any questions, send me a text at 818-252-5682. Again, that's 818-252-5682. If you'd like to talk about the process of mediation, or if you have an issue that you would like to have mediated, or if you have a question, just send it to me, 818-252-5682. Go to my website at www.lodge-co.com, and let's start getting the process going, resolving issues. This is Mike Lodge. I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye. This podcast is produced by Michael Lodge, fully focused on content. Talk with you soon.